For those of you joining this that don't know much about me, I'm the president of Hans Financial. For over 30 years, I've been helping my clients with some of their most important financial decisions. We help our customers create and protect their wealth using cutting-edge financial planning software and time-tested strategies. I've been a lifelong resident of Minneapolis. My spouse and partner is Jean, and we have been together for over 25 years. We have two great children. Jean and I like to travel, and one of our favorite places we've traveled is Costa Rica. In our business, I'm constantly looking out for technology to help Hans Financial be more productive and efficient company, so I can spend more of my time working with individuals and families, my customers. I'm also looking for ways to keep our data secure. I see unlimited opportunities on the World Wide Web, but I also see potential threats to our overall security. So part of my job is researching technology as it applies to our business. I'm also becoming more knowledgeable about our tech because I keep working on it. I spend this time because I feel the tools we have are only as good as our expertise in using them. Just know it takes time to become proficient, so be patient with yourself. Take bite-sized pieces of technology and improve on your past knowledge. Maybe for this year, set a goal to become proficient at password management software. My goal in presenting this material is to help everyone protect themselves from financial and identity theft. I call it financial and cyber security. Cybercrime is increasing, and we must be diligent and take precautions to protect ourselves. In this presentation, I want to cover the cyber attacks I'm witnessing in my day-to-day business life. I want to cover what's at risk and how we can protect ourselves. I also want to cover several specific tools you can implement to protect yourself. As you know, technology is ever evolving, and because of that, we must evolve as well. That means learning about internet security. I hope you find some of this information helpful in the presentation. I mentioned that cybercrime is increasing, the events of it are increasing, and just as I created this presentation, a security breach happened to one of the vendors we use, LastPass. We use LastPass to save our passwords and websites. Hackers targeted LastPass, and specific data was stolen about the credit card we had on file and our billing address. LastPass was targeted before, but this was the most intrusive attack. And out of an abundance of caution, we felt that it was necessary for us to change vendors. No client data or any of our websites were compromised in any way, but we just felt like it was good for us to make a change. Every day in my business, my email address receives 10, 15 phishing emails, and they are very clever emails, making it hard to discern whether they are legitimate or not. Let me refresh your memory about another large-scale attack that affected millions. In the USA, there are three significant credit reporting agencies: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. They are known as the Big Three. These organizations collect data about us related to the debt we have and what our payment history is like. Based on this information, these organizations will assign a credit rating. A lender, think obtaining a mortgage on your house, for example, will use this information to determine what your mortgage interest rate will be, or if you can even qualify for a mortgage. The Big Three are involved in our life in a very intimate way. Each of them has our social security numbers, previous employer information, and records of our payment history. We take for granted that the information they have will be safeguarded against unauthorized access. But in September 2017, Equifax announced a security breach. Information accessed in the breach included first and last names, social security numbers, birth dates, addresses, and driver's license numbers for an estimated 148 million Americans. Since there are only about 300 million Americans in the US, there's a good chance that your data or someone you love was included in that breach. So your information is out there. Another trend that has become common since COVID is to deal with our healthcare professionals online. When you work with your healthcare provider, use a portal to book your appointment now. You may even see your doctor online. We log into the same portal to see our medical records. I love the convenience of this, but now we have another website that needs a secure password to be memorized. It used to be that bricks and mortar financial institutions were everywhere, and we viewed these structures as secure places where our money was safe. Banks were built that way on purpose to attract customers who would have an impression of safety and stability. But nowadays, we hardly ever go to bricks and mortar type structures. All our banking and investment related activities happen online. This causes more websites that need to be memorized, plus more passwords. So all our financial information is stored online. We search and purchase products using merchants like Amazon. We store our credit card and bank payment methods on merchant websites. If the sites were to be hacked, cyber thieves could get our credit or bank information. How about social media? Everyone has dealt with a friend or family member who had their Facebook account hacked and weird messages were being sent out. If a hacker got a hold of your social media account, think of the damage that could be done to your reputation. What does cybercrime look like when it happens to an average person like you and me? Hackers are looking for pockets of money to target. If they suspect a target has wealth, they will find ways to get it. Hackers use potent computers and password cracking systems to discover passwords. It only takes them seconds to crack an easy password. We researched several passwords to see how quickly they could be cracked using standard password cracking software. We found that a password like Rosebud or ABCDEFGHIJK 987654321 could be cracked in seconds, whereas a strong random password can take centuries to crack, and we'll cover that a little bit more later. Another attack is a phishing attack. They call it phishing because it's like phishing for hackers. Cyber criminals send emails en masse to email addresses they have stolen. These emails look like they are from companies you can trust, but once you click on the link embedded in the email message, you have unwittingly allowed a monster into your computer. This monster plants malware on your computer and starts gathering information on the websites you use and the associated passwords. The criminals send out millions of email messages hoping they will catch an unsuspecting person. That's why they call it a phishing attack. And we see these at our office, like I said, many times a day. They show up in offers to log into your Microsoft account, for example, and change your password because you're under imminent threat. The email looks like it came from Microsoft. It even has their logo. Criminals are very crafty about the disguises they use. Usually we can tell they are fake by looking more closely at the email sender address. Hover your mouse pointer over the email address and you can reveal who the actual sender is. The sender's email address will say Microsoft.com with nothing surrounding it if it is genuinely from Microsoft. I also receive frequent emails to open a fax message, but they don't look like the ones we receive. Again, I hover over the sender's email address to reveal the sender and make sure it's legit. Alarmingly, we have been receiving phishing emails from something that looks like DocuSign. Last month, a warning was issued to all Cambridge advisors about a DocuSign phishing email. And we use DocuSign all the time with people. So it is a little bit concerning that is happening. How can I protect myself? Most of us are vulnerable because of weak passwords for the websites we use. Weak or reused passwords cause over 80% of data breaches. About 10 years ago at a conference, I was introduced to a password management software. I immediately purchased the new technology and adapted it to my life. I knew it would improve my efficiency if I had all my passwords stored securely in the cloud. I used to need help remembering website addresses, usernames, and passwords. Worse, I was using the same password repeatedly, or some version of it. Then I discovered a solution that can manage all this information securely where I only remember one password. Before the advent of password management software, we were forced to use unsecure methods to store our data. For example, an Excel spreadsheet where we saved our websites, login, and password information. or yellow sticky notes on the computer to monitor. You know, where you write down a password and just stick it right on the monitor there, so it's easy to access. Or we may give all our information to Google to safeguard. These methods are less secure and flexible than password management software. How does password management software work? Password management software organizes and saves all your websites. It creates strong passwords and delivers the information when logging into your favorite website. The information lives on the cloud. The cloud is just that, a cloud of data that is always and everywhere available to me through the internet. I can access this cloud anytime on my mobile device and computer through my online portal. And that online portal is secure. The best thing about password management software is that you only remember one password. This is the password you use to log into your portal. When correctly set up on your mobile device, you can allow facial recognition or fingerprints to log you into the password management portal. The password manager will take you to your favorite website and enter your login and password. We call your login and password your credentials because you must enter your credentials to show your creds. While working on your desktop or laptop computer, the password manager can be configured as an extension of your internet browser, and it'll live right up there where you're typing in your websites. So if you use Google Chrome, for example, the password manager will be placed next to the address bar, and this way you can easily store new or changed credentials. We spoke earlier about using strong and random passwords. So what is a strong and random password? It's a password that contains over 8 characters. Random means just that. Passwords that are strong and random are much harder for a thief to crack. Password management software works great for creating solid passwords because you just let the software create a strong and random password and then store it. So we like to call this proper hygiene with our passwords because it's something that has to be taken care of all the time. In this password management software, you can also create shared vaults with other people. You might have a vault called Johnson Family, for example, and in this shared Johnson Family vault, you would have websites you share with other family members. If one family member updates a password, you now have the shared update. This is a great strategy for your legacy planning and using some of the financial planning tools that we have at Enhanced Financial. But you can see some of these examples of strong passwords, and part of the deal is just, you know, hard to remember something like this or to come up with it in the first place. So that's why the password management software works so well. We don't have to memorize it, and we don't have to come up with it in the first place. What companies can you use or should you use? We suggest you look at 1Password, Bitwarden, or Keep as software for this purpose. 1Password costs $4.99 a month for a family plan, for example. What else can you do to protect yourself? Once you have your password management software set up, go to each of the big 3, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Create a user ID and password. Store that user ID and password in your new password management software, so it's easy for you to log in. Go into each one of these big 3 and freeze your credit. When you place a freeze on your credit, no one can request your information. If a lender wants to access your credit, ask them which of the 3 reporting agencies they use and unfreeze your credit for a limited time so your lender can do their research. Once the lender has done their review, place that freeze back on your credit again. This way you reduce the likelihood of someone obtaining a loan in your name that you didn't authorize. You can reach out to Enhanced Financial. We want to help you. Rebecca and Austin, 2 of my teammates, can help you with questions about using our website and password management software and the websites that we use at Enhanced Financial. There's 3 primary websites: NetX, CIR Statements, and eMoney. You know, at Enhanced Financial, we're always looking for ways to improve data protection and cybersecurity. It's about developing a security culture and keeping it foremost in our minds as we do our work. No one is perfect at technology, and it takes work to get good at it. The reward, though, is an abundance of information freedom to have information wherever and whenever you want it, easily at your fingertips. And this brings more efficiency to your life. So in conclusion, then, I just want to wrap up by saying that now more than ever, we need to be vigilant about protecting ourselves from cybersecurity. Times have changed. All our data is online, whether we like it or not. The stakes are higher now, involving our financial, medical, and personal data and reputation. Looking out for cyber attacks like phishing is an excellent first defense. Securing your data with a password keeper is the best practice. Use Hans Financial as a resource. Thanks for attending. Really appreciate it. I'm going to open it up for questions.